readings this week. I'll be playing the part of Captain Borax. I'm coming into Pocatello right now, Pocatello, Idaho, about 5 miles out. And I'm going up for the dedication ceremony for Lynnette Culver's memorial bench. The way this came about was Chris was doing research, of course, for a book for Bundy. And we ended up talking to Lynnette Culver's sister, and she was so nice, and she drove us around and showed us places, showed us Lynnette's things, and I asked her if she had a memorial spot for her because she was never found, and she said no. She said no, so I asked her very hesitantly, because it's kind of a touchy subject when you have a missing child like that. Putting up a memorial is kind of final, you know, and so I understood that. But she had talked to her mom, and her mom liked the idea, so we started the GoFundMe, and all of you and more were so good at contributing. We met our goal in plenty of time. Several of us are meeting up there at Ross Park, where they have already placed the bench, where we can commemorate her, you know, her life. Anyway, that's the story. Coming in, I'm staying at the same stupid hotel that Ted was at. I wasn't going to, just under the circumstances, but we have some friends there, some awesome friends. You know who you are, and thank you so much. They got me a good deal. Oh yeah, I forgot to say, in true Captain Borax fashion, my windshield is a total disaster. There were grasshoppers everywhere in Las Vegas, and then they got caked on by the sun, and so I need to buy a Brillo pad. Oops. A Brillo pad in order to clean them off. So, there's that. Anyway, had to throw that in there. And there's my stuff.
Family and distinguished guests of the Culver family, on behalf of my family, welcome. I'm Christopher Albano. On this day 57 years ago in Renton, Washington, an incredible woman was born into me, my Aunt Lynnette. 5 years later, her family moved here to Pocatello, Idaho, and this is where she spent the rest of her life. I'm told that she loved swimming at the old Ross Park pool with her cousins and siblings, and that's a memory that is echoed in my own childhood with my own siblings and my own cousins. I never had the opportunity to meet my Aunt Lynnette, though, because she disappeared in May of 1975. It's amazing how large a hole somebody who I've never met has left in my heart. Our family has never stopped loving Lynnette, and never stopped missing her. We carry so much of her with us in so many different ways. Words really can't express this void that's left where she was, but today isn't about it. Today we are filled with gratitude for this incredible and fitting tribute to our beloved Lynnette and the lives that she touched. Many people came together to make this memorial a reality, and it is not possible for my family to express the depth of our gratitude for this generosity and support that we've received over these 4 years.
Good morning. It's an honor to be here. Today has to be tough for the family. You hold out hope even though you know in your soul what the likelihood of Lynnette's disposition is. Today marks a memory place. Memory places are important. In the Bible, often a rock or a pile of rocks would be piled up at a great event. Samuel called it his Ebenezer, remembering what God had done. Today, this bench with Lynnette's name on it will mark her life. She was here. We don't know exactly where she is. We believe, but we don't know. But we do know a couple of things. One of the things I know for sure is that God has always been with her. From Psalm 139 we read, "Where can I go from your spirit? Where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in the depths, behold, you are there. If I take to the wings of the dawn, if I dwell in the remotest part of the sea, even there your hand will lead me, and your right hand will lay hold of me. We know that Lynnette is with God, that God is with her, that she is cared for. Let me pray for us. Father, I thank you for this gathering. I thank you for this moment when we can come to grips with the life of Lynnette, that we have the opportunity to dedicate this bench today, that her name will be remembered. Her life has been remembered by family and friends, but now all those who come to this place will see her name remembered. So we thank you, Lord, that you are with her. We thank you for your care for every moment of her life, wherever she might be at this moment. We know, Lord, that you are there. We thank you. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thank you all for being here to remember my little sister. It was that lovable pest of a little sister. She was just getting to that age of not being a pest, but a good friend. The last thing of significance that Lynnette and I did together was in April of 1975. And we did the March of Dimes 20-mile walkathon. And we did complete it. When we got home, boy, I was really wiped out. But Lynnette wanted me to go on a bike ride over to McDonald's to get her free Big Mac and my free Big Mac. Well, Lynnette went. I stayed home. I was too wiped out. So, on May 5th, 1975, Lynnette didn't come home from school. We tried hard to find her. That night, we called the police. We were told that runaways usually return home within 24 to 48 hours. And if she didn't come home, a report would be filed. For 15 years, there was nothing. Until January 23rd, there was a confession, and then on January 24th, an execution. My mother, whose birthday is January 24th, said she had a birthday present from God, knowing that this would not happen to another family by this man. I have heard many times, how could God let this happen? God gave people free will, and it is by a person's choice that it happens, not God's. My pastor teaches that when something bad happens, we have a stick. We want to beat the person with it. But instead of doing it, we need to give our stick to God, for He is just, and He is our defender. When I forgive people, it does not mean I accept their behavior or trust them. I forgive them for me, so that my heart is not full of pain and hurt. That can lead to bitterness. My father once said, we are bleeding right now, but eventually the bleeding stops. But the scars will never leave. They'll be with us forever. We have scars, but we keep moving forward. We cannot protect our children 100% of the time. It is our hope that this bench will be a reminder to all the importance of the teaching of children personal safety. So maybe others will not go through this type of thing. We treasure our memories of Lynnette, and I would like my sons who did not get a chance to have the memories stop and unveil this bench. I would like to thank Paula and Chris Mortensen, who put this all into motion for my family, and Christopher Douglas, who was the area coordinator, who helped so much in seeing all this done. I want to thank all who contributed to make this happen, and Tom, who took Lynnette's art and made it into this bench. I'd also like to thank Al Cuda of the Pocatello Police Department, who went to his grave still looking. My family is grateful to the enormous number of people over this 44 years who have stood with us, helped and encouraged us. We are blessed.
Said that our immortality lasted as long as someone under our name. This bench should help her immortality. And I want to thank all of you here who have had some portion, including the media. We owe a deep thanks to the media for the first 2 years after she left, that they kept her name and her picture in front of the people of Culver. I want to thank Grant as well. And I want to thank all of you. I'm really sad never met Lynnette. She was worth meeting.
Hello everybody, my name is Richard Sampson. I'm a detective with the Pocatello Police Department. I've had the honor of being assigned to work this case, and I say honor because I know how important it is to all of you what the disposition of this case is. I'll keep my remarks brief. I just want to assure everybody that this case will remain active until such time as we recover, which means that we will never stop looking. I can't make any guarantees about the outcome, but I can guarantee you our efforts will not stop. And I appreciate all of you for being here. And as I said, I would keep this brief. So thank you very much.
Chris regrets being here. He wanted to be here really bad, but today was his first day of work down in Las Vegas. And that's probably the only reason he wouldn't come. I mean, that's the one reason. The way this all started was Chris was investigating the case, and we met Nancy, and she's just amazing. And she drove around with us, and we even went to eat together, and we've talked on the phone a lot, and on Facebook, and we've developed a good relationship, I believe. And so Chris and Tom Shaka are two people who really wanted to be here and unfortunately couldn't make it. Tom Shaka is first of all, how this started, that's I forgot to go into that. How this started was I talked to Nancy, I asked her if there was a memorial for her, and she said no. And I knew it was kind of a touchy subject, so I approached her about the GoFundMe, and she said she needed to talk to her mother. And she did. She talked to mom, and they agreed that they'd want to go forward with it. And so we went ahead. So I started the GoFundMe, and we really pushed it. Crystal Douglas, Cold Case Files, she's amazing. She took over. She didn't handle the money. She made sure that everything happened. She coordinated the bench, her and Tom Shaka. Now, Tom Shaka, he's an artist. He's a very well-known artist in his field. And he did some of the artwork on the bench here, like this type of stuff. He designed it. Now, these are actually Lynnette's designs that she put on her jacket. And the swirls and stuff in between was designed by Tom. He actually recreated her images. And he did that. Anyway, so another thing he did, which was very special, was he made a gift for the family, for our mom and dad, and I want to give it to him now. So here's this from Tom. And he's going to send the original to the family as well. So that's on its way. Tom deserves a lot of credit. He stayed on top of you and shared the posts every day, like almost every day. And he's been in contact with Nancy and Crystal the whole time. So he's amazing. Him and Crystal.
So I'm afraid of calling on you the back of the minister. I don't know if anyone else is acting or would you like to. I don't think anyone else is back to mention what the message means and why it was placed in the last part of it.
Lynnette's memory will be in the hearts of those who knew and loved her, and will be rekindled whenever parents and teachers teach personal safety to their young students. Jesus said, "I am the resurrection and the life. The one who believes in me will live, even though they die, and whoever lives by believing in me will never die." Do you believe this? It's John 11:25.
Okay, and now we'll have the closing prayer with Pastor Mike.
On a day like this, there's kind of two things that happen. We experience grief, but by experiencing that grief, we have given honor to Lynnette, to her memory, to her presence on this earth. And so it's appropriate to feel that grief, even now, after all these years. John 11, the verse on the back, is from the passage where Jesus was away from Bethany and his friend Lazarus died, and when Jesus got there, he was doing this for a very particular reason, shortly before he was killed. He wanted to demonstrate the power of God that he possessed. And so when Mary and Martha both challenged Jesus, if you'd have been here, my brother wouldn't have died. I'm sure the scenarios have gone through your mind. If, maybe Lynnette would still be with us. These are all true. So if we only are here to express our grief today, That is very sad indeed. But along with the honor that we have and the grief that we give, we have hope in Jesus. Jesus looked at the sisters and he said this verse, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live even when he dies. Do you believe this? The question Jesus leaves it. And then he goes over to the gravesite, and in a story you can read in John 11, he calls Lazarus out of the grave after 4 days. Some people say, why 4 days? Why was that even mentioned? For the Jew, you weren't dead until 4 days had passed. Your spirit could somehow still come back. Jesus demonstrated, in my opinion, is one of the most powerful miracles in Scripture, uncontested. And why? To give hope. To know that God was with Lynnette every step of the way. And as Jesus said, do you believe in the power and strength that he has to walk with him? Let me pray for us. Father, again, thank you for this gathering. Thank you for all the efforts to place this memorial and to honor and remember the life of Lynnette Dawn Culver. But we have a lot of questions, and you know those questions. And our hearts hurt, and they do. And yet our hope, Lord, is in you. And you give the promise of life. And we claim that promise for Lynnette's life, knowing that she is with you. We thank you for this time together, for the fellowship to follow. We pray all of this in Jesus' name.
Thank you all for coming. We appreciate the honor of your presence here with us this day. Again, I want to reiterate that the Culver family will not be taking any questions from the press, but I have press statements available upon request. Thank you again. I'll drive safely, and God bless.
So it's just very much. Yeah. Yeah. That's got to be really tough if you never get that final.
It's hard, but you know, we just have to go.
This is beautiful.
I won't be able to have it in
It looks like
I heard my first son
not that much hair.
Always random.
I was in the car. Go down.
She wanted to said she would have liked to. She lives in Meridian. I have a brother-in-law in Greenleaf. Oh, I was 4 years down there.
I've been told her she's been completely, she's off on carrying the
Greenleaf. Yeah. But I'll try to sit there.
Just feel like locomotive.
When I first saw it, I was extremely blown away. It's just a beautiful memorial, and I hope that it will encourage parents to teach their children personal safety. Everybody has to do that, or there's just going to be more and more children disappear. So
I didn't contact the FBI until after I got a report that she was on the Indian reservation, and they told me they couldn't do anything about it, but later on they were responsible for getting her in the Missing and Exploited Children program, and I appreciated that. It was 10 years before Bundy ever entered the picture for us.
Okay.
Then when I heard on the national news that he wanted to talk to the Idaho Attorney General, I told Carol that we'd be seeing that Attorney General. They told us why they thought that it was Lynnette, because he had told them that she said that she moved from Seattle and lived with her grandparents and had lost a bicycle there and had been stolen. And those were all things that happened to Lynnette. So that was what brought the conclusion that he had killed her. Always, the thing was, it became a real habit of watching girls to see if one of them was her. And that's never been a habit I've been able to break. Oh, I think probably.
You think
Nothing's for positive because he never kept names or anything like that. He claimed 2 victims in Idaho, but Idaho's never been able to come close to identifying the second one.
well, to me it has brought on some closure, and it has a permanent place now for Lynnette.
Yeah.
Well, we had a flagpole in Potlatch, but that wasn't really her home. That just was where I was working at the time when I retired, and with my retirement money, I had we bought a flagpole for the school, and it was for her in her name. So, but that is a long ways away, and this is her home. So. She's here.
You don't know me, I'm just another faceless person from the internet. But we do have one very important thing in common, and that's your daughter Lynnette. Lynnette's disappearance has always broken my heart a little. From everything that I've read about her, she was just a normal preteen, beautiful, vivacious, a good student and a caring young lady. I wonder on an almost daily basis as to where she'd be now had she not had that chance meeting all those years ago. I feel very strongly that every victim should have their story told. The memorial reminds us of that beautiful spirit who left us all those years ago, and it allows us, in a small way, to hold her close to our hearts.
Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Culver. This is Cheryl from New York. I want you to know that there's a whole community of people who continue to remember your daughter, Lynnette. For me, when I see pictures of her, I see a very pretty, vibrant young girl who had a future ahead of her, tragically cut short, and I can't imagine what your family has endured all these years.
Dear Lynnette, I am personally sorry I didn't know about you. Until now, it must have felt like the world had forgotten you. Well, not all the world. You are fondly remembered by all your loved ones and the people who are working hard to make sure your name is known and indeed remembered. You and your family have suffered so much, not only by the beast who took you, but also by the media who have chosen to forget you and their stories time and time again. Lynnette, I hope you can hopefully rest easy now, little one, now that your bench is in place and in full view for all to see.
I guess by putting up a bench like this, what we're saying, just looking at you guys sitting there now, on that bench, there's a space there between you two. And I can imagine Lynnette sitting right there now. And what that bench is saying is, you don't have to look for me anymore. I'm not that shoe lying on the side of the gutter there. I'm not that girl walking down the street that just turned the corner, which looked like you. I'm not that sound in the middle of the night. I'm right here. I'm here and I'm resting in peace, and you don't have to worry about me anymore. Not like that anyway. And that just leaves the good memories.
The memorial gives Lynnette a voice to not only tell her own story, but that of the immortality of love of her friends and family, and all of those who have been touched by her brief and precious life. She's not forgotten. She resides quietly in the hearts of many people, including myself, forever wide-eyed and beautiful. Thank you for being examples of grace and strength. It is tremendously it's a huge honor to be part of this, and I wish you all warmth and bright days.
I've thought that for years, that we see so much of the depictions of the criminals. There are books and television movies and television covers, press coverage, Hollywood movies, and yet the victims' families and the victims get, no attention. They get no reimbursement that we know of, and yet you have other people in industries feeding off of the unfortunate events of innocent people. So I have been aware of this and the imbalance of that, which is why I was all for being a part of the Lynnette Culver Memorial, because that's what I think needs to be emphasized. The culture is still going to go see the Zac Efron movie, but we need, or I can, or us, we need to be paying more attention and focusing on the victims, because they become statistics, and that's unfortunate. They're human beings, and we need to remember them and know more about them, not just the people who killed them.
My name is Carrie Andrzejewski-Keller. I worked with Dr. Al Carlisle, who evaluated Ted Bundy for the Utah courts in 1976, in which he determined that, yes, Ted Bundy was violent. Dr. Al passed away last year, but I know he would be so happy that there was a memorial finally put up for Lynnette. Thank you so much for all your hard work in getting this project put together, everyone. Great job. And sleep well, Lynnette.
Hi, this is Martin. I'm British but I'm based in Thailand. I just wanted to leave this brief message to say what a wonderful gesture it was to place a memorial bench for Lynnette Culver. Also, I'd like to send my warmest regards to the Culver family and let them know that what happened to Lynnette has touched the hearts of many people around the world. Thank you.
This is a message from Dick Baarslag in the Netherlands. Congratulations on finally getting the funds together to put up the memorial bench for Lynnette Culver. I wish everybody, and especially the relatives of Lynnette Culver, all the best from the Netherlands.
Sweet Lynnette deserves to be remembered, and now she always will be.
When I first learned about Lynnette's story, I knew it was one that I wanted to highlight. I was present for the memorial, and I do thank Nancy again for allowing my producer and I to come to film such a wonderful tribute. Being there in person was something that I will take as an experience, and I am so happy that there is something in place for Lynnette and for the family.
No longer is this girl just missing in the wind. She is finally given the love and recognition that she has been without in the wider world for so long. Mr. and Mrs. Culver, obviously nothing can ever make up for what was taken from you. I just hope this memorial gives you back some comfort and the knowledge that your little girl is in our thoughts, and that the rumours and untruths surrounding her disappearance have been proven to be just that, irrelevant and untrue. Lynnette is in our thoughts, and she can finally rest with this memorial forever, giving her the due that was taken from all of you.
Greetings from North Alabama. I'm just so happy that the memorial was erected in Lynnette's honor, and I hope that you enjoyed it very much. We're all so saddened about Lynnette's death. It must have been something very horrible to go through. God bless you and your family.
I wanted to send money for Lynnette because she was so young, you know. Her body was never found, and she and her family deserve to have somewhere to mourn her. God bless her.
Head's underwater, and my feet are what your hands are around. And the blood from my nose makes me realize I'm gonna drown. And the family, when the pleasures go, then there's no sound. My life, I held it down. And I get bored. 4 feet on this hill ground. And the beasts and their sons and daughters, they try to push you around. And to measure your kindness by the penny or by the pound.